boys, trade deadline rumors are heating up, and Matt and Dariel are not allowed to be in the frame of this video. But in all seriousness, trade deadline rumors are heating up for the New York Knicks. As things get underway, we are officially less than a week away from the NBA's trade deadline, and this is going to have huge implications on the New York Knicks. And we're going to break all of it down, all the trade rumors, discuss who we want to see the New York Knicks want to pursue at the deadline, and probably a lot more stuff that's going to come up in conversation. What's up, guys? It's Chris, Matt, and Dariel. We're back. I'm drinking tea. This isn't alcohol. I'm tired. But the New York Knicks, well, there's a lot of different guys who are in trade talks right now. In these trade rumors with the Knicks, whether it's Gershon Yabusele, who's a new name, there's more rumors on Clint Capella. I've got a video on that coming out soon. Marcus Smart's in the trade rumors. Basically anyone who also, neither of the guys I mentioned, but anyone who makes $2 million or more is in trade rumors for the New York Knicks, or $2 million or less, I should say, as guys like Javonte Green and Alec Burks are highlighting just some of the names who the New York Knicks may be pursuing at the deadline. Guys, toss us some comments. What do we got going on? The New York Knicks, the biggest three, or the most common three names we're seeing with the New York Knicks are in the thumbnail of this video, whether it's Jonas Valanciunas, Javonte Green, or Isaiah Stewart, three guys heavily linked to New York. Matt, Dariel, what's up, guys? Matt, I'm going to need you to move over one way.
Yeah, which way? This way?
Yeah, that's the
that
way.
way.
That's the way. Slide that chair. But the New York Knicks have entered a time and an era where they're not going to make a major trade. They don't have to. They've made all their major moves that they're going to make for the time being, and the only tradable contract left that's going to get moved at some point is Mitchell Robinson. And everything screams it's going to become less and less likely that the New York Knicks move Mitchell Robinson in the first place. Guys, do either of you think that Mitchell Robinson's going to get traded at this point? Because I'm pretty much 1,000,000% sure he's not.
Matt, you want to go first or what?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first because I was going to ask the same question to Chris, but I really feel like teams are scared of Mitchell Robinson and his injury history. We know Knicks fans are, of course, afraid of him because he hasn't been healthy for us. So other teams are looking at him and thinking if they're afraid of his injury history, we should be terrified. Like, why would we ever trade for an asset that potentially isn't even an asset? Potentially, he's just a spot in our franchise who actually is never healthy enough to play, and we're gonna have to pay him money, but he's not gonna be worth the contract that he's gonna be on. So I could certainly see why teams would be afraid to trade for him, which is gonna, of course, drive his trade value down. Less teams are gonna be calling, and they'll be calling with worse offers. And the New York Knicks aren't gonna trade him unless they get something real in return. So, I mean, but if they're gonna get, I don't know if he's even gonna get something real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the trade rumors are going crazy. It's a week until trade deadline, so of course it's kind of bound to happen. And there's also some other names that are in the trade rumor mill being linked to the Knicks. But as far as like, do I think the Mitchell Robinson trade is going to happen? I think it's actually not going to happen. And I actually I'd rather see this team the way it is. I want to see it played out just with a healthy Mitchell Robinson. Of course, like Matt mentioned, there's health concerns with Mitchell Robinson, so the Knicks fan base and also the organization, there's going to be a little bit of worrisome there. But with Mitchell Robinson being out for however long he's been out, I feel like I don't want to say that he shouldn't have an excuse because injuries can happen all the time, obviously. The game of basketball is unpredictable. We can never predict what's going to happen. But if we're able to get a healthy Mitchell Robinson, like praying to God that whenever he comes back, in a couple of weeks or towards the end of February, whenever it is, that he can just have an elongated time of play where there's no hiccups, and then we can finally see what this team is going to be at full strength. I would actually want to see this team just play it out the way it is. Now, of course, if we do that, that means Precious is still going to be on the team. If we do that, that also means that Jericho Sims is going to be a part of that big man rotation, relieving Cat and Mitch. But I like what I've seen from the team so far, man. They're on a 5-game winning streak. We got wins over Denver. We got wins over Atlanta, Brooklyn, Sacramento, and Memphis. So there's a couple of teams within that 5-game winning streak that are definitely legit wins. But I kind of want to see this team play it out the way it is.
Yeah, dude, Sacramento was on that 6-game winning streak when we absolutely destroyed them, put up over 140 points. That was awesome to see. Also, Memphis, one of the best teams in the West, knocked them down. Because I said, I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, I was worried about the Knicks because they have not been beating the really, really good
Right.
teams, and they still haven't beaten the elite teams. But the teams on that tier just below the elite ones, we played them and we crushed them. So that was awesome to see.
Yo, Denver's actually fourth in the West. Like I was surprised by that because there was a few weeks there where I just wasn't looking at the standings and I was just looking at how the teams were playing. And then I saw that Denver was winning a game here, winning a game there. But then when I looked at the standings, I'm like, oh wow, they're at fourth, 28 and 19, and they lost their last three though, and they're 6-4 in their last 10.
It's because you didn't
But
play.
I mean, facts. But but like, yo, I honestly around All-Star break, based off what I saw from the beginning of the year, trying to implement Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray wasn't looking the same. I wasn't expecting them to be anywhere near the top four. I was looking for them to be around the 6 or 7 range. So kudos to them. But that Denver Nuggets game was definitely a highlight. 122 to 112. Cat had a. I mean, as far as like the defense that he had on Jokic, did you guys see? Did you guys see what who posted it on Twitter making fun of Cat and the way he defended Jokic?
Draymond
fronted
Green.
him? Yeah, so you guys, Chris, you saw that, right?
Yeah, there's a TikTok coming out and a YouTube short coming out on Knicks Digest either today or tomorrow on that.
Matt, did you see that? Do you know what we're talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
So Draymond Green, after the Knicks W against Denver Nuggets, Draymond Green goes on
Draymond
X
Green.
and yeah, facts. And then he literally just goes on a little rant talking about how Cat's defense on Jokic is kind of soft because Cat was fronting him rather than playing him man to man and playing him like defending him one on one. And Draymond Green was saying basically that Cat's not a winner because you're fronting him and you're depending on your defensive help side. And I was like, I mean, Draymond Green is known to be a little erratic, but I was like, where the hell is this coming from? I was like, what the hell? That was super weird.
I mean, he has earned the right to call people out like that. I wouldn't do it while I was still playing if I was him, but it is.
To Jokic, of any one guy guarding him, Jokic's worst field goal percentage is against Karl Anthony Towns. So I really, if I'm Draymond Green, I wouldn't be saying stuff that's just so easily proven wrong. Now,
Yeah, but Chris, you're not even you're not really like if we're the Knicks, which we are. I'm not worried about what Golden State's doing. Care.
yeah, I mean, I don't care either, but that's the thing. Draymond is... well, first of all, Draymond works for TNT. He's on a contract with TNT. The man is paid to let his opinions be known. So there is that side of things. But it's just clearly...
That was on X though. He wasn't.
That's
He wasn't like
the
doing
thing.
an interview.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think it's Draymond knows that since he's on TNT, he's like, well, I'm just going to tweet out and call out whoever like I'm Shaq. And... sorry, I started to think about it. Have you guys, this is so off topic, but my brain just goes in 6 directions at once. Have you guys ever seen that thing where it's like, what's happening here? Is it a basket or a stop? It's just Shaq posting up Draymond Green. Dude.
Nah, I never
No,
seen
I've
that.
not seen that.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's a photo of Draymond Green guarding Shaq, and it's like, the hell do you think is happening? Look at the size difference. But, we keep cutting on...
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, I'm trying to see it. I'm going to listen to the audio in a second. I'm going to turn my mic off and check the audio out. But, like, Matt, you definitely lagged for a second, so I'm going to check out on that.
Yeah, I saw a lag spike. Okay.
Yeah,
Chris,
did
you
you-
worked that out. Me and Dariel. Dariel, Knicks 100 a game is talking about how the Nuggets being on a 2-game losing streak and the Kings playing their 3rd game in 4 nights is the context behind the Knicks wins, which I guess makes them less quality wins. But the Kings were still on a really good winning streak. The Knicks were still playing good basketball.
No, absolutely. And on top of that, like the Kings, yeah, they're on a nice little winning streak, but you could kind of afford that to the whole energy change of like Doug Christie taking over to Mike Brown. I mean, yo, but the Sacramento Kings, like, dude, I talked about them in a post game. I guess it was after the Sacramento Kings game. I'm not sure. Maybe I mixed up my videos, but whatever. I talked about them briefly, and yo, they're a weird team, bro. Right now, they're 10th in the West. They lost. They're 6-4 in their last 10. 24 and 23 overall record. But yo, they're so weird because De'Aaron Fox, like he has all the tools, athleticism. He has a jump shot. His 3-point shot could be a little bit better, but he has the playmaking abilities. You have Domantas Sabonis, who's a legit big, who's always getting snubbed as far as All-Stars. He averages a double-double for the season, I believe. But there's something about that team that just isn't like it's not playing to its ability, and I can't pinpoint what it is. And I don't want to say it's DeMar DeRozan. I don't want to say it's Domantas Sabonis. Really can't pinpoint what it is. They went to the playoffs 2 seasons ago where they lost in 7 to the Golden State Warriors in the first round. Steph dropped that 50 burger ball, where in my opinion, I thought they should have won. I thought they should have won that series, and I honestly didn't think they should have gone 7. And then even after that series, you heard about how the whole Jordan Poole and Draymond Green incident, how much that had an effect on them. So the Golden State Warriors, they were able to get past that. I just don't know what's wrong with the Kings, bro. Matt, what do you? I know obviously this is a Knicks digest, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no.
2 cents.
So talking about that series you were talking about, even when the Warriors were down 0-2, they were still the odds-on favorite to win via Vegas. So I just think they're under-talented. Like you're saying, there's something
Kings.
wrong with them. I think the Kings are under-talented. You said what? They're 23-22.
24 and 23 right now.
Yeah, so one game over 500. But in the
Right.
West, that's not even a bad record in the West. There aren't really bad teams in the West. There's, that huge jumble once you get past the second seed. So there's a bunch of guys all really, really close. So, Chris, you think you got it? Oh, no. Never mind. I was reading Chris's comment in the chat. Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Kings, I'm not worried about if there's something wrong with the team, because even when they are all got their chemistry going, their ceiling is what, fourth, third in the West, and maybe a Western Conference Finals appearance. Like, what are you, Dariel? If you're even a Kings fan, what are you looking for out of that season?
I just ever since they made it to the playoffs 2 years ago, like that, I thought it was a significant shift. I think it was the first time making the playoffs in 15 years, and then the season right after that, they didn't even make it to the play-in, I believe. And then now this season, they're 10th in the West, and I'm just like, yo, why are you guys taking steps back? You guys should be at least minimum 5 or 6 seed consistently, and you guys are all the way in 10th with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis being the cornerstones of the franchise, and then adding DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is a legit certified All-Star player, the mid-range king. Like, I don't Keegan Murray based off his rookie year, like he's still taking leaps forward. I just don't see why they're taking steps back. Everything I mentioned is like these are things that are supposed to help your team out. So why are you guys still having a hard time? And among this whole Sacramento Kings talk, obviously De'Aaron Fox is being. There's that report I think Sham said that the Sacramento Kings, they're actively listening to trade talks for De'Aaron Fox. And I think it might be time, bro. I think it might be time to ship it out because
Shut up,
something isn't
Kings
working.
Digest. I see you. Sorry, not you. Dariel Kings Digest is in the chat. That sounded like it was aimed at you.
No, it's all good.
Oh, they actually are. Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Kings
That's
Digest.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's time for the Kings to ship out De'Aaron Fox. And if he goes to San Antonio, bro,
He is.
if he goes to San
He
Antonio
is.
with him and Victor Wembanyama, it's a problem.
He's getting
the league
traded
is in
there.
trouble.
All right, Chris, I got a question for you. Earlier when the chat was moving really slowly,
wings?
we went over. Yeah, that
Yeah.
comment.
That was right when the audio cut out, and I had to go be techspert, Chris. Look,
Baby orangutan, Chris.
the baby orangutan knowledge of tech. Look, so here's the deal. There's not the greatest slew of wings available this trade deadline. The biggest name, and I don't even believe he's the most coveted guy, but the biggest name who's also the best player available on the wing is 1,000,000% Brandon Ingram, who's not going to get traded to the Knicks. The Knicks have to trade one of the core four. So that's not happening. But
Zach LaVine isn't better than Brandon Ingram.
Zach LaVine? Oh no, he is not. Dude,
Zach LaVine
actually-
isn't better than Brandon Ingram.
Bro,
I
he's
actually
better
forgot
at
Zach
scoring.
LaVine existed, if I'm being honest with you,
Dude,
Dario.
Zach LaVine is on an albatross contract.
That's
Who wants
a-
to trade for him?
So,
Come
all
on.
right. Dario,
But
yes. Zach LaVine is
even-
better than Brandon Ingram. But Brandon Ingram is way easier to trade for because he's not on that monstrosity. Yes, you're right. I completely forgot Zach LaVine existed. I just spent the last 10 minutes trying to figure out technology, and that's not easy for me. My brain's a little fried right now. And guys,
Yeah,
want to know what you do when your brain is fried? You go to your local 7-Eleven. Don't use your fractured hand when opening it, and you crack yourself open a White Claw.
Damn.
Paid
Sponsor us, White
for by
Claw.
Chris, not White Claw.
White Claw
Facts,
hooked
White
me
Claw.
up after I paid the 7-Eleven money for the White Claw. But look,
Wait, Matt. Matt, Zach LaVine's a better player than Brandon Ingram. I'm not talking about contract.
Yeah.
Basketball player.
Yes, but Brandon Ingram's a better trade asset and the number one trade target for teams needing a wing.
I think that Brandon Ingram's more likely to get traded. From everything I've seen, Ingram's more likely to get moved. I don't think either gets moved. I think Ingram's more likely.
Chris, let's pretend the Knicks didn't have OG Anunoby and let's say take both Bridges and OG Anunoby off the team. Would you rather trade for Zach LaVine or Brandon Ingram? Why?
I mean, neither's a great defender, but Ingram's better and plays off the ball differently. They're both ISO. It's both a disgustingly awful fit, but the way Ingram plays,
is a bad fit.
Also, bigger deal, less money. Free agent.
You guys keep talking about the contracts. I'm talking about basketball.
You can't not talk about the contract when talking about Zach LaVine.
Okay, so what's the contract? What's Brandon Ingram's contract and
Ingram's an expiring $20-something million deal. Zach LaVine's got 2 years left
LaVine's on the max.
$43 million deal per year. Mind you, Zach LaVine's played 5 playoff games in his 10-season career.
No, facts, of course. Yo, for this season, Zach LaVine is having a really good year, bro. For this season, 24 points, 4.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 8.6 field goals made on 17 field goals attempted. That's 51%. 3-pointers, 3-pointers made on 7 3-point attempts, 44.6%. Brandon Ingram, 22 points. Brandon Ingram's out with an injury, right? He hasn't played in that long.
I believe he's back.
Yeah, I think he's back. I thought he was back. Well, he definitely has missed a lot of time due to injury this season.
Yeah, I just haven't seen him on the court lately. But anyway, for the season, he only played 18 games this season too. 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Nah, you're right. He's out.
8.6 field goals made on 18.5 field goals attempted, 46.5%. Zach LaVine got the edge there. 3-pointers, 2.5 3-pointers made on 6.5 3-points attempted. That is 37.5% for 3-pointers. Zach LaVine got that there. Like, we also. I hate to bring this up because do we not remember how Brandon Ingram played in the USA World Cup 2 summers ago?
Who cares?
No, I understand that. But hold on. Steve Kerr took him out of the lineup, and did you see how much he was soaking on the bench because he wasn't getting his touches? Because he wasn't the man on the team?
I agree with you, but at the same time, we're talking about Zach LaVine, a guy who got drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves and then mouthed F me. So neither of them are the epitome of everything you want. Given DeMar DeRozan did go to the Bulls to play with LaVine specifically. That all being said, to answer the wing question from earlier, look, the New York Knicks, they do want another wing. They do want one, but they don't feel pressured because of the fact that TJ Warren and Chuma Okeke exist. Now, Warren's a bit of a wonkier fit because last time he was in the NBA, he shot 15% from 3. I believe it was one of whatever. He made like 1 or 2 threes on very limited attempts because he'd only played 10 games that season for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He has a bunch of injuries. Chuma Okeke specifically. Who was King's Digest? Why don't I know you? I definitely know who it is, but I don't know who's on King's Digest.
It's Ben.
Oh my God, you're right.
It probably is Ben.
No, I'm telling you, you're right.
He's returning the favor after you trolled him on the Raptors live stream 2 nights ago.
No, it absolutely is. Ben, I literally invited you on Happy Hour. Like, I literally told you come on, and then you said next week. And I'm excited for you to be on next week. But what are we doing here? Guys, be careful what you say to King's Digest. He could fire all 3 of us at once. He's our boss. He's the CEO of our company. But also apply to King's Digest on LinkedIn because I'm the one who checks those. But look, here's the deal.
Matt, you're bugging.
Wings. The wing that the Knicks are most interested in, if I had to put money on it, who's like a realistic guy, is Javonte Green, who's in this thumbnail because he makes $2 million and the Knicks can trade Jericho Sims and a 2nd-round pick or 2 second-round picks for Javonte Green. The Knicks have an edge. Now, other teams are interested in him. For instance, the Denver Nuggets are interested in him, and the Boston Celtics are interested in him. The Denver Nuggets have 2 tradable contracts. One of them is Zeke Naji, and the other one is Dario Saric. The thing with both of those guys is the fact that they make more than $2 million. The Pelicans want to cut spending. Now, Matt, I think we actually talked about this the last time we were on a live stream. The people who own the New Orleans Pelicans is the lady who owns the New Orleans Saints. They want to cut spending on the Pelicans because they don't care about the Pelicans. They do not care. They just don't care at all. Now, with all that being said, the Celtics, who had Javonte Green on their team back in the day, a couple of years back, they want to trade Jaden Springer's $4.1 million. Again, it's more money. The Pelicans don't want to take in more money because they want to get away from that luxury tax, especially because they're paying DeJounte Murray. They're paying Zion. They're still paying B.I. as of right now. They're paying McCollum. They have a lot of big contracts. They have that Herb Jones contract kicking in next year. They have the Trey Murphy stuff to deal with. They have a bunch of guys who they want to pay. And Javonte Green obviously isn't going to return because Javonte's built for a contending team, not for a tanking team. And he's better off. He's one of those guys who equals more wins. Like, he just plays really hard, hits the corner three at 42%, hits the three ball at 38.7%. Last time I checked, 46% shooter from the field, 6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.2 steals per game off the bench, 0.8 blocks per game as a 6'4" wing off the bench. The guy is a perfect fit for the Knicks. He gives heart. He's a very, very good on-ball defender. He's a great corner three-point shooter. That three-point percentage will go up because he'll be shooting a higher volume of his threes in the corners. You have this situation where you could stick Javonte and Mikal kind of in the corners and have them moving through those back cuts while OG cuts to the hoop. OG's a very talented cutter. Also, Javonte Green, and this is the case with someone else who we're going to go into right after this, though he's not exactly a wing. Javonte Green's an underrated passer, and it adds to OG being able to cut and Javonte being able to pop out on the corner.
Yeah, you see it, Chris?
You're going in and out every 4 words.
Yeah,
Am I actually?
I don't know. Knicks, not to me. Knicks, is it everyone or just Chris? Yeah, someone put in the comments if everyone's cutting out or just Chris is coming out. Because on our Zoom call here, everyone's coming through perfectly
and I
clear.
checked. Mine's back. I'll check again.
Yeah, okay.
Tech support, Chris, going back at it. This is all Matt's fault.
It's got to be. So, I mean, I think Ben just signed back in on Bulls Digest now, and that's where these comments are coming from now. All right, Dariel, where do you think Jimmy Butler is going to end up?
Jimmy Butler. I'm interested. Hopefully, Chris gets that audio right because I want to hear what would be the proposed trade to get Javonte Green because I'd want to see who the players are in that trade. Because if Deuce is in that trade, I'm not making that trade. I'd rather stay with Deuce because I like the way Deuce has been playing lately. But Jimmy Butler, my God, Jimmy Butler, man. I feel bad. I also don't because of the Miami Heat and then the Eastern Conference. I don't know what I don't want the Heat to be good. Tyler Hero making the All-Star team, good for him. He's been the best player, which has always been my problem with Bam. Bam, I think should always be the best player on the team, even when Jimmy Butler was on that team. And that is part of the reason why they were never able to really get over that hump.
Wait, what do you mean he has to be the best player on the team?
Also, we're not cutting out. I was
gonna say, is he just trolling us?
Yeah.
I think in order for the Miami Heat to really, I mean, it's not gonna happen anymore because it's all messed up. But when the Miami Heat were in contention, I think Bam needed to be the best player on the team in order to win a championship. But Jimmy Butler was the best player on the team, which he got them so far all the way up into the finals. But Bam has every ability, bro. He could put the ball on the floor, ball handling, shot blocking. He could create offense for himself. Creating offense for others isn't quite there, but he has athletic ability over, 90% of the bigs in the league. And he settles for these mid-range fadeaways that's like, it's one of the most annoying things behind Pascal Siakam's spin move that he only has in his offensive repertoire. It's one of the most annoying things ever. And Tyler Hero making the All-Star team this year, kudos to him. But that tells me more about Bam rather than Tyler Hero, to be honest. But as far as Jimmy Butler, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. From what I've heard, I don't even think the Miami Heat could make a trade because of Jimmy Butler's contract. And Pat Riley, I think he's like close to 80 years old, and he's also petty. He's also the one that didn't give Dwayne Wade that money all the way back, which made him go to Chicago, made him look mad weird in that Chicago Bulls jersey. He's had issues with LeBron. Pat Riley is, he's the godfather and all that, but he's really stuck in his ways, and it's his way or the highway. And I think it's gonna be some petty stuff, man. I think he's gonna send him to Sacramento, but if they get De'Aaron Fox back, then that wouldn't really be petty. So I don't know, Matt. What do you think about the whole Jimmy Butler situation?
I mean, all I know is he is not going to be playing for Miami because he is not even going to step on the court for them. Like, as far as prediction where he's going to go, like, I feel like I don't know if teams are worried about getting a head case, but I feel like Jimmy Butler is such a strangely specific player where I'm not sure when you bring him in. You have to be worried about him clashing with other teammates and coaches because that's what he did in Miami and that's what he did on the Timberwolves before he left. So I really have no idea where he's going to end up because he's such a specific case, bro. Like he's so difficult. Chris, are you ready to answer questions? Because I have one for you if you are.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. From Mike, why hasn't Leon contacted Portland about Kimani Kamara? Yeah.
Because there's absolutely no chance the Trailblazers trade him. No trade. No chance. Yeah. Trailblazers aren't trading a young forward or wing. They're not going to do that.
He's coming on strong too,
yeah. He's just too good at the moment for the Trailblazers, and they would just upcharge the Knicks for him. There's no point in going after a guy like that. The guys who the Knicks are going to go after who aren't big men are Javonte Green and Gershon Yabusele. I don't think they're going to get Yabusele. Frankly, I don't think the Sixers are going to trade him because they want to be the ones to re-sign him, and that gets a whole lot harder when you trade a guy away.
And if the Sixers make a trade, are they even going to trade the Knicks someone?
Well, there's been division trades recently with Daryl Morey, so it's possible. I mean, the one thing is, though, it was for him to get his guy, not to give his guy away. And given Gershon's not his guy, Gershon's a guy. But,
the 76ers are so cooked, bro.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to be on, the live stream just hating on teams for no reason, but it does feel good to see it, bro. It does feel good to see it.
Dude, I don't understand the logic of people. Why would you sign Paul George when he's injury prone and he doesn't show up in the moments when he's been known to not show up in the moments that are brightest? These are things that you can actively look at in his past. Oh, okay, he didn't show up in the Western Conference Finals, and the excuse is that he didn't have Kawhi Leonard next to his side. You know what? Let me sign him to what he wants in a free agent. That makes no sense whatsoever. Why would you offer Joel Embiid an extension when he already has a plethora of injury history? I don't understand some of these GMs, yo. Joel Embiid is cooked, bro.
I can give you the reason why, and I want to make it clear I disagreed with the Paul George signing for the 76ers. I thought they should have signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and then used all their other money on other role players. They had a good job getting role players, but they got everyone's grandfather, like Reggie Jackson and Eric Gordon. They were picking up grandpas. What they should have done is they should have signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He's very similar to Paul George, except younger, has that championship DNA, less on-ball needy, less drama, more stability. KCP made more sense to me. I think with where everything's at the moment, I think it's a weird time for the 76ers that they lost in the first round after being a 7th seed because the same thing happens over and over again. They get injured. They're just an injury-prone team because Joel Embiid is, made of injuries. Man's got glass bones, so...
Embiid messed up so bad by playing in the Summer Olympics. I understand why he did it, but, dude, you were playing on one leg, and you had a 50-point game against the Knicks in the playoffs. On one leg, you 100% needed to sit down, and I get it. You got the gold medal, now you could cross that off your checklist. Cool, but if that was me, my obligation would be to my NBA team. It wouldn't be to the Olympics. But did you guys see that stat that the 76ers, the TNT put up on the TV when the 76ers played on Tuesday against the Lakers? Joel Embiid he's missed 467 games out of 400 games that he's played, whatever. 467 to 400.
47% of his career he has not played.
47%. Dude, that is one of the, and it's crazy to add him to the what if conversation because he has an MVP. He has multiple playoff appearances. But you can add him to the what-if conversation to Derrick Rose, Grant Hill, Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, all those players because we barely got a glimpse of Joel Embiid's peak. Barely got it. So I think it's a fair thing to put Joel Embiid into that conversation of what if. It's just sad, bro. But they're cooked.
I mean, I do sort of feel for Joel Embiid, or at least I did. And now he's the reason why Mitchell Robinson hasn't played a game this year. As much as 76ers fans are like, no, it's not. Yes, it absolutely is. as someone who knows about the Mitchell Robinson, I've talked about it on this channel enough. Like, it was just, it's a lot what happened to Mitch's foot and ankle.
Chris, what's the latest news on when Mitch is supposed to come back?
My guess is somewhere between February 8th and February 12th.
And how is that different from what when we started the season? He was supposed to be back by the end of January, right?
He's supposed to be back somewhere between December and January. I will say I said it was January. I said it was middle January. Anyone thinking December was wishful thinking.
He just said 2025.
Back-to-back stress. Yeah. Like back-to-back stress injuries are not good. Definitely some structural damage around that. It's unsurprising. The thing is, I'm in a weird situation where I'm not at all a Knicks insider. I've known two things ever, and it's Mitchell Robinson's foot, and I knew that the Knicks were making a trade the night of the Towns trade, and I didn't know what the trade was, but I knew it involved Towns and Randall just based off the information I got. I've never been given any other inside information. Those are the only two things I've ever gotten. But yeah, Mitch, his foot was really, 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 really messed up. Like it wasn't just a stress fracture. When you get a second stress fracture, when you aren't fully recovered from a first stress fracture and structural damage is added to your ankle because you jumped up as someone pulls your foot down, it creates a ton of damage around it. And Joel Embiid probably cut Mitchell Robinson's career short by a good 3 years. So it's just hard to feel any empathy with Joel Embiid, someone who's dealt with a bunch of injuries, clearly doesn't feel any empathy. So it kind of just cancels itself out. No surprise, Joel Embiid's injury prone. I mean, like, he's that big. He's over 300 pounds. He could lose some weight if he felt like it, but he doesn't. And then some dumbass like Aiden Laporta on Twitter will post, "This is the man you're hating on," with Joel Embiid and his wife and his kid. Like, yeah, it is, because he's not a good human being.
Oh, wow. Dude, we all saw him actively try to injure our guys.
Actively injured Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson would be playing
try.
if that didn't happen. That is what caused the injury, and then Mitch played on it. That I really, to this day, hope the Knicks like see the 76ers again, and Mitch should really just pop a tooth out of Embiid's face. Like, just toss an elbow. Or do the full Kareem. Get hit in the stomach, bend down, then just shatter a guy's orbital with one punch.
Oh, my God.
That's what Kareem did.
Dude, talk about Mitchell Robinson. He would be missing more games after that. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
be fully
Imagine
healthy.
if Mitchell Robinson pulled down Embiid's ankle. Imagine that.
No.
I mean, he would have been executed on the spot. Like,
Dude, I don't know how Embiid was allowed to keep playing in that game.
Dude, Joe Biden himself would have
good.
shown up and just popped Mitchell Robinson on the floor and been like, nope. He would just, Mitchell Robinson would go disappear or something if that happened. Like, he'd just disappear. He'd get a pair of cement shoes and be tossed in the East River. Like,
Yo, real quick, kind of random, but since we're talking about trades, there is a trade floating out there, not regarding the Knicks, but there's a trade out there that somebody would be going to the Orlando Magic that we might need to keep an eye on. The rumor is the Orlando Magic are trying to get Anthony Simons from the Portland Trailblazers. I don't know what exactly they'd be giving up, but the reason why I bring it up is because obviously the rest of the Eastern Conference and the Knicks, we just got to keep an eye on people. And Anthony Simons going from Portland Trailblazers, a not winning organization, to the Orlando Magic. I don't know if you guys seen Anthony Simons, man, but the boy can hoop. He has range.
No. Oh, no, they cut away. I was like, where'd Dariel go? Guys, I don't have Zoom Premium, so just give me 1 second. I'm going to invite them back. But yeah, look, start my next meeting in 9 minutes. Your free meeting just ended. Please wait 9 minutes for... Oh, guys, look what's happening now. It's just me. Never mind. Oh! Uh-oh, it's just me here now. Oh, yeah. See, guys, this is what we really want to see. This is what we want. We just want me here. Now that we got rid of those two guys, let's get down and dirty. Salute JM30. They'll be back in a minute. We are going to end this around 7:15. I do have to go somewhere. This is funny. That's never happened before. The Zoom won't let me restart a meeting. Oh, I'll text Matt to restart a meeting. Or I'll text Dariel. But look, yeah, guys, throw me some questions. Let's do this. I wasn't talking enough. I'm hype. Yeah, guys, let's do this. Let's break it down. Let's discuss the New York Knicks. These guys weren't talking about the Knicks enough. Let's talk about some New York Knicks basketball. Look, we like Mitch, but you want championships. Mitch, move that bum. Look, here's the deal, dude. Mitchell Robinson has no trade value right now. There's no reason to move Mitchell Robinson when he has no trade value. You should wait. If you're going to move Mitch, wait till the offseason. Wait till he has value again. Like, I don't see the point of moving a guy who has no trade value. Like why would we move a guy on a tradable contract who has no value? The Knicks, they have 4 years with this group to really contend. 4 or 5 years with the way their contracts are set. There's no reason to have to rush into moving Mitchell Robinson. They could wait. They could hold off. They could move him over the summer if they want to do that. They could even wait longer than that and move him over the season. Then his contract expires, and you don't really want to let Mitchell Robinson walk for nothing. So I do think he's going to get moved, but that will happen in a minute. Keep Mitch. Chris, you're cutting out. I don't believe Matthew. Where Dariel is going to be back in a moment. Then we'll get Matt back. Oh, yeah. And he's back.
Yo.
Dariel, give your hot take to the stream. Hot Knicks take, that is.
No, I was just talking about Anthony Simons being rumored to be linked to the Orlando Magic. I was gonna ask you and Matt, is like, what do you think? What do you think if that actually happens?
To the Lakers?
Would you be a little... No. Anthony Simons to the Orlando Magic.
Oh, to the Magic? I think it'd be a great move. They need some ISO scoring in their backcourt. I think they're a team that should be interested in using their money for Bradley Beal.
Oh my God.
Like, if he's gonna get moved, it's not the worst situation for either guy. How do I?
Chris, you got to thank each and every person in this chat, because I turned the volume of the stream up and every 4 seconds it would cut out for like a second and a half. So dude, every single person in here, they're learning nothing. They're here to support Knicks Digest, Chris. So you better be thanking each and every person.
I've been watching
the
stream the entire time.
I'm not making it up.
I don't trust you. I need to watch the stream now as I talk. Like, this is what you're doing to me.
I'm not making it up. It should be immediately obvious for you, Chris. I mean, yeah. Now, is it worth trading Precious because he's balling? If you get an upgrade, if you actually get something back of value for Precious Achiuwa, we can trade him. But I love Precious. I don't want to see him traded. I know everyone else on this panel has the opposite feelings about Precious Achiuwa, but I love Precious.
What are you talking about?
But he wanted to trade him, right? Chris, trade Precious, yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, I don't even know if he can hear us. No,
he's watching the stream right now.
Okay, I was under the impression
that he thinks I'm lying to him. Dariel, I swear I am not lying. My stream is cutting out as well.
Sheesh. So everybody in the chat,
ultimate
clap for you guys.
Definitely gotta clap it up. Like,
I always give Chris a lot of bull crap for loving Precious Achiuwa. So he's in the Precious Achiuwa camp.
I know he likes him, but he wants to trade him.
All right, I'm the one saying that since we signed him back when we needed to get rid of him. Let me say this though. He's been playing okay.
Oh yeah, man, I'm really cutting out. Yeah, good one.
Within the last 5 games.
All right. I just watched it. I'm watching the stream.
Okay.
Yo, he's been playing really good the last 5 games. He's been actually catching the basketball. He's actually dunking on people. Like, I like what I'm seeing from Precious, but I'm going to keep the same energy that I had for Precious that I'm keeping for Karl Anthony Towns. Campaign. Show me what you can do around playoff time. If we don't see this Precious around playoff time, then all this doesn't mean nothing, as well as campaign. So that's what I have to say.
Look, I don't think there's any world where Precious gets traded. There's no reason to trade a guy who, when he's with Karl Anthony Towns, they have a plus 10.6 net rating. They're clearly a great duo. Precious has been phenomenal for the Knicks.
He's been good. Relax.
Very good. He's been a very good backup.
He's been good. Relax. Not very good. Relax.
Yes.
I mean, Dariel, are you expecting where you get a starting caliber player coming off the bench? Is that what you're looking for? Because we're not going to find that. That's not how the
No.
salary cap works.
No, I
We had
want
that
somebody
once.
who's consistent. I want
Precious.
somebody who can catch the basketball more than 4 possessions in a row. I want
Precious?
somebody that can have a good game consistently, not just have one good game, 4 games later show up, one game have a nasty poster, 3 games later he has another nasty poster. I don't want him to go disappearing.
So
Within
what
the-
does Precious have to do to impress you? What does he have to do?
Show me confidence on the floor. Show me consistent play. Defensively, cool. He's a good defensive player, of course. But I need him to put it all together, offensively and defensively. He's shown it within the last 5 games. Cool. I'm giving you praise. But now let me see if you can consistently do that throughout the rest of the season. I don't want to see 5 good games and then you go have a disappearing act for the next 3-4 games. Just consistently play the way you've been playing. Consistently play the way you've been playing within the last 5 games. He's not playing with. He has not.
Dude, I definitely think he's playing with confidence.
The
I know
Within the
it's
last
not
5 games, he
quantifiable.
has. Within the last 5 games, he
It's
has.
been
There's no
longer for
question
the
about
last
it.
5 games.
No, he hasn't. Then tell me about all the turnovers, the stupid ass turnovers that he has, where he dribbles it off his foot, where he commits turnovers.
That has nothing to do with confidence. Like,
It
that
has
literally has
everything to do with
nothing
confidence.
to do with confidence.
If it
All right,
has nothing
Dario,
to do-
please tell me, when did he dribble off his foot?
If it has nothing to do with
When did he
confidence,
dribble off
that's
his
even
foot?
worse. If it has nothing to do with confidence, that's even worse.
When
That
did he
means
dribble
you're-
off of his
that means
foot?
you have no hand-eye coordination.
When did he dribble off of his foot, though?
Dribbling off his foot, not
When did he do
necessarily.
that?
Not necessarily dribbling off his foot, but he has. I've seen instances where he's literally like the picks that he sets, offensive fouls, where he throws the ball and he literally throws it out of bounds. I've seen that before, and I just don't like
Josh
that. bro.
Hart
Like-
does that.
Yeah, but Josh Hart's a better player than Precious.
I'm saying that can't be an excuse to not like a guy when he's playing objectively well, when he's getting a block and a steal per game, when he's scoring at the rim well, when he's getting rebounds, when he's playing in transition, when he plays perfectly next to Karl Anthony Towns, when the Knicks have a net rating of plus 10.6, when you have that duo on the floor together. There's nothing to be like, well, he shouldn't play, he should be traded. Like, he's doing
We need to do a
everything
live.
right.
We need to do a live. We need to do a live for every Knick game, and I will point out how just the stupid mistakes that he makes. We should definitely do that during the regular season. We should 100% do that in the playoffs. And yeah, the last 5 games, he's actually impressed me. He's playing a lot better. But we'll see. When it matters is April, man. When it matters is April.
Yeah,
It
I just
also
want
matters
to.
throughout the year because you don't just magically
get
wake
it.
up in the playoffs. Like,
I get it. The regular season, you got to win to get to the playoffs. I
you
get
have to
it.
win and you have to get comfortable with your team and understand schemes and plays and sets and how you play with certain guys. Like, it does matter. It's a matter of figuring everything out.
No, regular season does matter. I understand that. But when the lights are on brighter in the playoffs, so let me see.
Like when
let
the
me see-
lights are on
see what he
brighter and he
does.
holds Joel Embiid to 1 point and a quarter. Like those lights.
Oh, playoffs last year?
Yeah.
One leg. Stop it.
Who cares?
He dropped 50. He
He's
still
playing on
dropped
one
50.
leg. What do you mean
He
who
had
cares?
50 one of
50
those games.
points in a game.
Yeah, I know. He had a crazy game. He had an amazing game on one leg. That shows the caliber of
had an
player
am-
that Joel Embiid is.
Oh, exactly! It shows the caliber of the player he is and who was held to 1 point in a fourth quarter.
Joel Embiid.
You can't have it both
He literally had to play through Payne every single second of that series for that one game where he
Oh,
dropped
poor
50
baby,
points.
like no one else did too. It's
Oh.
the playoffs. Jalen Brunson
of
was
course.
injured. Everyone was
Of
hurt.
course.
Everyone was hurt those playoffs. I just want to make one thing clear. I think the chat got it, but me and Chris, we're saying Precious Achiuwa is a good role player, bench role player. We're not saying he's like supposed to be starting or nothing like that.
Me neither. He definitely shouldn't be starting.
And he's definitely a good player for what he's paid. Also, as a starter with the Knicks, Precious does average 12 points, 9.5 rebounds, and shoots over 50% from the field with 2 blocks per game. Just going to throw in there that he is a
What's
good
the
starter as
volume?
well.
Field
Fun
goal.
fact.
What's the volume? Field goal, 50%. Was that 3-pointers, regular field goals, and how many shots?
Who gives a shit? Honestly.
Wow. Okay, 2 shots and he makes 1 out of 2. That's a real
How
good
do
volume.
you get 12 points per game off 2 shots?
Okay, but I'm saying like 50% from the field. But you
Yeah.
need to give me the volume. You can,
Who
Yeah, it's
gives
just like-
a shit? They were winning.
We're
It
breaking
doesn't
down
matter if you
individually,
shoot
bro.
12 times or 2 times if you're helping a team win the
does.
game.
It does.
Why?
If you're taking 6 shots and you make 3 of them, okay, cool. But like, I need-
Very cool. He's a role player.
Nah.
Dude, Dariel,
bro.
you're
bro.
me, Chris feel like you're where your standard for the bench players, the role players is too high for the Knicks. Like you want us to find actual quality starters and just stash them on our bench.
Like no, I just Precious
No,
specifically, Precious and Cam. Those are the two players.
That was the other guy I was gonna say. I was gonna say Cam Payne is the other guy.
I just don't like them. I don't like them. I don't think they perform when it matters most. And then Chris is gonna get all hyped because they were 3 of 6 from the field. Okay, cool. 6 shots, great. When you look at campaign, when you look at it as the offensive producer off the bench with 6 shots, cool. Give me a little more, bro. Give me a little more, bro. I'm just different, bro. I guess I'm different because I don't care. Dude, my whole career, I don't care what kind of player I was. I'm getting in the game. I'm being aggressive. I don't care how many shots I'm taking. I'm being aggressive.
No, I can respect that. I can respect that. I just think Precious is an aggressive player even when he's on the court. Even when he's on the court in short spurts, I think he's an aggressive player. Campaign's chucking heat shots at all times.
Horrible shots. He has some horrible shots.
But aggressive. You can't say he's not an aggressive.
Nah,
he's trying to get his.
Matt, come on, bro. Matt, come on, bro. There's a difference between heat check shots and shots that are flowing within the game, bro. Campaign takes one step over the half court and he chucks it. I'm not gonna say that's aggressive. I'm saying that's the most dumb shot I've ever seen in my life.
But he shoots 40% from 3.
Campaign. Matt, go ahead.
So, Campaign, aggressive or not aggressive?
It depends, bro. Like when he's
if you had to pick one, you got to pick one.
Okay, but you got to give me some context. Like
this year, has he when he's on the court?
He's been aggressive, but some of the shots are absolutely dog doo-doo.
Okay.
Horrible.
Okay.
So it depends. It really depends on the type of shot. If Campaign takes one step over half court and it's like a 3-on-2 and he chucks a shot, yeah, he's being aggressive, but that's an absolute dog doo-doo shot.
I'm not trying to defend those shots. You were just saying you were the type of player that no matter if you're playing 5 minutes or 40 minutes, when you're on the court, you got to be aggressive, and I respect that. But then you agree that Precious is aggressive, and it sounds like you're saying Campaign's aggressive too. So why don't you like these guys?
Campaign, the quality of shots there's a way to be aggressive. There's a way to be aggressive. Precious, yes, he is aggressive on the offensive end, but I just don't like the way he gets his shots.
Okay, Precious Achiuwa averaged 12.5 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks in 19 games as a starter for the New York Knicks on 9.7 shot attempts and 1.9 3-point attempts. What is there to not like? He shoots 10 times as the 5th option. That's clearly the correct amount of shots if he's hitting 50% of his shots.
9.7 attempts, 9.7 on regular field goal attempts. What were the attempts on the 3-pointers?
1.9, so 2.
Well,
okay, the volume's not there for 3-pointers. The field he can't shoot it. He's not a 3-point shooter, but he can shoot the 3. Karl-Anthony Towns he's a 3-point shooter.
Exactly.
That's part of his repertoire.
So you don't need Precious to shoot 3s.
Precious, the regular field goal attempts. It was the field goals made. I'm sorry, field goals made. How many?
5.2 made out of 9.7 attempted.
Okay, that's a decent size. That's a nice diet.
I will say I'm admittedly shocked he took that. I would have guessed it was like 6 or 7 shots taken, which I don't think it matters how many shots you take if you're hitting your correct amount if you're the 5th option.
Chris, we're doing a live, bro. We're doing a live. We got to do a live in the game because this whole I need to show you how Precious is bad, like why he's bad to me.
He also has the best chemistry with OG on defense, which has led to a number of defensive stops. As Charlie mentioned, the Knicks, they're holding superstars to incredibly poor games, whether it's Jokic, De'Aaron Fox, Ja Morant. I shouldn't have called De'Aaron Fox a superstar, but they're holding the opposing team's best players constantly to bad games, and that is a testament to OG. And also, Precious is in effect there because he's one of the better defenders. He is the team's go-to rim-protecting guy off the bench. Achiuwa, 7-18, yes, he can shoot the 3, but he doesn't very often, is what I'm saying.
Precious' defense, yes, he's good. He's definitely good. There's no question there.
Yeah, I love Precious' defense. I think he's versatile. Speaking of that, you know it's coming, Matthew. You gotta play the propaganda. You gotta play the propaganda.
Oh, yeah.
The one asset that Ben Rogers has made for me whenever I ask for something, Ben, You don't get. I can't wait till he's on here so I can just roast him for saying, "Hey, you don't
still in
make
the
me
chat?
anything." What's up?
I was gonna see if he's still in the chat, but I don't think he's there anymore.
Nah, he's not.
I think he signed into Bulls Digest and then started talking about Levine and Bulls Digest
Oh
too.
no, that's probably Rico. That's the guy. We still have to have Rico on one of these. Is Rico in here? Rico's the man. Love that guy. He's great. If you want to talk about Sims, he's trash. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
God.
I mean, we've been nice to him on these live
Moses
streams
Brown
because he's on
is
the
so
Knicks.
much better, and he's just chilling in the G League, putting up 20, 30 games.
We've been nice to Jericho Sims, but it was pretty obvious, I think, to everyone on this live stream that he was not going to develop this year.
The only year he looked like he had actual talent was the year he got consistent minutes as a backup center, and since then he hasn't gotten this.
You know what gets me
which is
so
hurting.
upset about Jericho Sims?
The athleticism.
No. Yeah, I mean, of course, if I had the athleticism, I'd be living in a penthouse right now. But yo, Jericho Sims, what did we see in the offseason when he was putting on X?
Him.
What workout videos was Jericho Sims putting up during the summer?
No, his post fades.
Dude, what are you doing? bro?
Post
He
fades
worked-
with Mike Bibby, dude.
Mike Bibby working on fadeaway jump shots. Cool, you're adding that to your repertoire. We see you working in the gym. That's great. But what are you going to be doing in the game where Coach Tibbs wants you to be in the game? He's not going to let you do a fadeaway jump shot, bro. You needed to work on your post game. Baby hook shots. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sky hook shots, bro. A jab step. A gather dribble. Like, use your athleticism. Oh my god.
Dude, he has to work on. Do you guys know what a jugs machine is for football?
A jugs machine?
Yeah.
Man hands thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs that, but for basketball, we're just throws in basketballs. He just practices catching the basketball because he drops it all the time, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, him and Precious, that's one of the biggest gripes I have with them. They can't catch the ball.
I mean, I think Precious compared to Mitch, Precious can catch a ball.
Knicks need
To Mitchell
Kata
Robinson?
Bates D
Yeah.
up. Well, they had Kata, but they traded him.
Damn, R.I.P. Jericho Sims, bro. That's a wrap.
I hope he
That's
gets
a
traded to the
wrap,
Pelicans for
dog.
Javonte Green because I think he'd have a better shot at succeeding on the Pelicans. Because he'd get an actual chance to. Because outside of Eves Missy, there's no other big men.
That's what I was
going
gonna
to
say.
play fast and throw lobs. I need to make this smaller. Your guys' heads are just enormous on my
No,
screen. Right
Eves Missy is gonna be. He's gonna turn into what we wanted Jericho to be. He's that
he already
really
is
raw,
that.
really raw, really athletic player. That's why I
Dude,
wanted
he's
to take
putting
him
up
in the first
nearly a
round.
double-double. Yeah, true. You were a fan.
Yeah,
He's putting up
yeah.
where'd he go to college? Oregon?
Baylor.
Baylor. Yeah, Green.
Baylor.
I knew it was Green.
Yeah,
Dude, he
Missy-
stood out
Missy's gonna be a
crazy on that
problem.
team.
Dude, you know what's gonna be a problem? That dude, Ware from
Khalil
Miami.
Ware? Yeah, he's that guy. That's who I wanted. That was my guy.
Dude, he is gonna be a problem, bro. Miami, again. They do it once again, bro.
I think it's
Golly.
also part of it is yes, knowing who to draft, but another part of it is such like a developmental thing as well. Like it's you pick guys who you know you can develop because mind you, the same teams get the draft right.
Yeah,
Heat?
Jimmy Butler probably
Raptors.
bullies the rookies at practice. So
The Spurs, the Heat, the Raptors, and the Spurs don't really miss on rookies. It just says a lot. The Knicks don't really too often either now. Not that they're a good organization. They don't.
well, you had to take Kevin Knox because he had a Fortnite suit. So throw him out of the busts.
Dude, I remember standing by that both those
Kevin
Kentucky
Knox,
dudes sucked. I was like, nope, Kevin Knox, terrible. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, terrible. And I was half right.
Kevin Knox, R.I.P. man.
Dude, I knew he was going to suck, too. I knew he was trash. He looked at more athletic in college, but it didn't mean it was going to translate to the NBA. His shot wasn't good. It wasn't good enough in anything, honestly. And he also didn't
Dude.
like basketball. Like, couldn't we have picked someone who didn't want to be an NFL player?
He wanted to be an NFL
Yeah,
player.
his dad was in the NFL. He wanted to be an
Sims?
NFL
I mean,
player, but he got
Knox?
so tall. He played basketball.
He's talking about Knox.
Yeah. Dude, someone Nick's 100 a game saying Sims sets the best screens on this team. I mean, if you are at his skill level, that's all. He pretty much is a screen setter
I don't
extraordinaire
think
at this
Sims
point.
sets good screens at all.
Yeah, that's cap. He gets called for offensive fouls all the time for
And
setting a
also,
screen.
if he doesn't, he just instantly runs off the screen before it gets set. He doesn't touch anyone. OG sets the best screens.
That's cap. That's horrible. Sorry, guy.
It's not Jericho. I agree 100%.
That's horrible.
That was from Knicks 100 a game. So
Why
take it up
does
with him.
Sims always look depressed every time I see him? Because he never gets to play.
Yeah.
Because he's playing scared. Every time he's on the floor, he's always looking at Coach Tibbs, being like, "Please don't take me out." Like a little.
Dude,
Oh.
Leon has been crushing draft picks recently.
Leon's good at this. I love someone who played his first game in the orange and blue up in Westchester. Kevin McCullum Jr. Back healthy for the first time in a year. Looked real good. Future Josh Hart. Really excited for KMJ. I honestly think Kevin McCullum Jr. has a better chance of any Nick than breaking into the rotation this season. I truly do. I think it's Kevin McCullum Jr. He's 6'7", can guard 4 positions. Really good athlete.
He's only had one game? He's only had one game so
he's
far?
literally played one game in the Westchester Knicks. So obviously it's like it would be a while. But I do think if they were to play a rookie consistently, he's the most NBA ready. He's 23 years old. He's got that man strength. He's a big dude. He's 6'7". The Knicks could desperately use a 6'7" guy who's not afraid to put the ball on the floor off their bench. If there was anyone to get the role, I know McCollum does that as well, but McCollum, one, is dealing with a toe injury right now, and also on top of that, he's just so young, dude. McCollum is he just became 19 and a half. Like, he's a child. I say that like I'm not just like 4 years older than him. 24 and a half hours
yeah,
left.
you still are a child as well.
Matt, you know what? Maybe I'll just throw this White Claw at you, except you're just a screen on my computer, so then I just lose a lot of money.
Ooh, Chris, thoughts on Moses Brown?
I love Moses Brown. That's my guy, dude.
I know
he's
you
like
do.
clearly
That's why I
just
asked you.
better he's just better than Jericho Sims. And he's just not allowed to play for the Knicks. Like, it's the most insane thing. He's just not allowed to play for the Knicks despite being better than Jericho. Like, I don't understand why the Knicks just don't allow Moses to come up and play. But they don't. And it's really, really annoying because he's better than Jericho.
I'm not sure if he's from Queens, but I know he went to Malloy High School in Queens.
You're absolutely, yeah.
So
he's a New Yorker.
shout out Moses Brown, bro. He's definitely from New York, but
He is,
I mean,
yeah.
I forgot what borough he's from.
I think it was Queens, but I will check.
Let's get it, baby. Malloy High School in the
25.
building.
I think he played with Cole Anthony there, if I'm not mistaken. Because Cole went to Malloy for 3 years before transferring to Oak Hill.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Moses Brown interesting. I don't know. I thought he would have had a better, not even better career. I guess I thought he would have been part of a NBA roster.
He should be.
A lot
That's
more.
the thing. I don't know why he can't hold on to a roster spot. He's been on like 7 teams and the Trailblazers like 3 separate times.
I know he was on the Pacers as well.
I think he was born in Manhattan actually, but yeah, it looks like he's from Queens.
Queens get the money, baby.
Chris, how are we doing on time here for you?
I got like 10 minutes left. My venture got pushed back 15 minutes. So.
All right, yeah. Steven, the White Claws always hit Chris. Actually, take the S off of Claws because he only needs one.
Nice.
Yo, do we have any feelings about Josh Hart being snubbed from the All-Star team?
I think he should have gotten in. I think it's a testament. I think if they were the 1st seed, he would have easily made it, but I think since he wasn't, since they were the 3rd seed, that's why. But I feel like you should get rewarded if you're just the perfect glue guy in the NBA. Like, they've done it before.
Really
they've awarded glue guys. Like, remember when the Atlanta Hawks won every game in January of 2015? All but Damari Carroll got in.
Yeah.
That was funny. Damari just the one starter who's not an All-Star, while Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap, and Al Horford all get there.
So who Tyler Hero, Damian Lillard, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Pascal Siakam, Jaylen Brown. Who would you have put Josh Hart over?
Pascal. I don't think he's having a great year. Not having a bad year, just having a great year.
Speaking of, Chris, the Indiana Pacers, 5th seed in the Eastern Conference.
I stand by what I said.
You said they finished in the play-in, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll be serious. I don't know about the rest of the teams. I think the Orlando Magic will take them over.
They're 7th.
Yeah, I think the Magic will climb back up and become a 5th seed. I think it'll be Bucks Magic in the first round. I don't think the Bucks are going to get past 4. The top
Bucks
3 in the
Magic.
East is pretty much set in stone at this point. But I think it will be Bucks Magic 4-5.
What did you say about the Pacers, though? You said that they're not
I said
gonna
I think
end up-
they'd be a 7th seed and make the playoffs, but I predicted them at 7th or 8th. Like, I thought they'd be playing.
You thought they'd be
I just
playing-
don't believe in them. I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer in a team that can't play defense. Also, fun fact about the Pacers, they're trying to trade Obi Toppin, and nobody has interest in taking him. So Tibbs was right on that one.
Oh, Obi.
Obadiah.
Yo, Matt, what do you think about the whole Josh Hart thing and the All-Star?
I mean, yeah, no. I think the end of that, like, he's probably pretty close to as good as Pascal Siakam, but I'm not going to sit here and, lose sleep over him not making it over Pascal. If they're really, really similar, if they picked Siakam instead, I'll just, I'll go along with it, sure. Josh Hart, we know what he can do, but he is not going to be a starter if, Mitch is healthy. So I can't be like, oh, he had to be. You think he's starting over Bridges?
He's starting over Mitch.
You think once Mitch is healthy, Mitch isn't the starting five?
Begley said he's going to come off the bench.
Okay.
And that is like,
when did it happen? Like 2 days ago? A week ago? I don't know how I missed that.
It's the only reasoning really is because it's the same thing. They want to bring Mitch back along so slowly that when he's like finally 100% healthy, it's like March and like healthy and NBA
so
ready.
That's what I'm saying. When he's healthy and NBA ready, do you think he's going to be the starting five?
I think
so.
I don't think he'll start until some playoff games, depending on matchups. If that makes
So
sense.
what I'm saying is, Chris, pretend right now he's fully healthy. Is he at the 5 or is Josh Hart in over him?
he's at the 5, I think.
Josh Hart, from everything I've seen.
I agree with you, Dariel. That's what I was saying. That's why I am okay with Josh Hart being snubbed, because I think a fully healthy Knicks team, Hart is not a starter.
I'm basing this off everything I've seen. Is
And we
that
also
Mitch will not
need-
start. They like Town Center
We also need a little bit more
rebounding.
consistent. No, we need a little more consistent off the bench. So getting Josh Hart off the bench with Deuce, that'll be.
I
Yeah,
think
that
the
would be
way
phenomenal.
to do it is you
That'd
have
be
to
amazing.
stagger Mikhail's minutes. Yeah, like he has to be the first guy off the floor and then come back on with like 2 minutes left in the first and run with the bench unit. Now in the playoffs it's going to be an 8-man rotation, but right now it'll be sorry, I'm just reading some comments.
Yeah, I'll say, Chris, read that comment. We got a question for you from Mike.
From who? From Mike? Chris, why
From
did the
Mike.
Spurs trade Derek White? Knicks can't get Tamani when they're being overtaxed by Portland. It's a similar situation. Well, the Spurs traded Derek White also in part because things were starting to go downhill for them. They saw the writing on the wall. The Trailblazers have already tumbled down the entire hill. Like, that's the difference. The Spurs saw the writing on the wall with this team and were committed to the full rebuilds that had to happen, which for the Spurs is 2 years before they just magically get the first overall pick every time there's a generational big man who wants to come and play basketball. And I think with Derek White, that's the difference with Camara. And yeah, it's a good point that you make, but the Trailblazers have already rolled so far down the hill and are already one of the worst teams in basketball. Trading Camara, yes, will make them worse, but it becomes just that much more different. So, or it just won't become that much more different because of how bad they already are. There's not much talent on the Trailblazers, and they're trying to trade their best player today in Anthony Simons, who's not even playing as well as he would be, on the sole fact because he's probably miserable being on the Trailblazers.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if I'd agree with you by your statement of saying the Trailblazers don't have enough talent.
Well,
They
they're
have
good.
talent, bro.
They have good talent, but they're already so... I mean, like, the Spurs, they hadn't tumbled complete... Or they were in the midst of tumbling down the hill. The Trailblazers have tumbled down the hill. They're in the rebuild. They're not a team that's selling off assets. They're a team that... They're just rebuilding. They're just in it. They're in the thick of it. Like...
I'm keeping my Scoot Henderson stock. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, you
I'm keeping-
absolutely
I'm
should.
keeping my stock.
I'm so with you.
I'm also with you, Dariel. Not that anyone in the chat cares, but Scoot Henderson's, he could still be the next Russell Westbrook type of player.
Oh,
I'm
he
still
could
excited
easily
for him.
break out. He could easily... Especially with Simons gone, more ball control.
Dude, it's just the microwave society we live in today. Everybody wants everybody
that's
wants
facts.
everything now, bro.
That's facts. It's not just basketball. It's the NFL too. Dude, if you're a quarterback and you're not sick your first year, you just suck. That's just how it works.
That's
Like
crazy.
with Caleb Williams, who had statistically one of the best rookie years in NFL
That is
history.
insane.
Dude,
But
he
it's
had,
like,
like,
oh, he's
one-
ass.
No, I'm just saying everyone who wasn't Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud was bad. Like, you remember last year, like
Yeah.
CJ what's his name? Bryce Young's bad. Just no, he's done.
Bojangles Bryce.
Crazy.
No, absolutely. It's an interesting world that we live in today.
Facts.
Look, the Knicks could trade for Camara, being on that $1.8 million deal. They could trade Sims there. I just think the Trailblazers would upsell the Knicks so far that they wouldn't end up doing it. They'll probably have Mitch come off the bench and see how it goes first. That's the thing. I don't think the Knicks will start Mitch until they feel like they need to in certain situations. And also, their starting five has been so good that it's like, do we mess with a good thing? Especially Josh Hart having a career year. Do you say, like, well, we know this guy hasn't played healthy in over a year because he hasn't been healthy since December of 2023. He's playing over you now. Like, I understand positions and all that, but I just don't think that the Knicks are going to start Mitch until they feel like they have to, which is the playoffs, if they have to start him in certain situations. That's my guess. No, Camara would be an ideal player for the New York Knicks. You know what? Who said that? Mike, I'm saying they're not doing anything. I promise he's going to be traded eventually. He's a little older than Scoot, Kling, and all them. Mike, I will make you a Camara video this weekend, and I will say this is for Mike in some point of the video. So comment on this live stream also, so when I check the comments I'll see it, because I might forget, but I will make you a Camera video at some point this weekend. 3 Cavs players. Yeah, Darius Garland shouldn't be an All-Star, but that is what it is. They're so good. They're getting rewarded for being good, and also Kenny Atkinson's the coach, so go figure.
You said he should not be an All-Star?
Yeah. Unless I'm just completely underrating Darius Garland. All I know about Darius Garland this year is that his defense has just been propped back up into, or not propped back up, it's been propped up into solid defending.
He deserves to be an All-Star. I think so. Being number one in the East, bro.
22 points per game, like 22 and 7.
But dude, number one in the East, nobody expected that, bro.
I know, but they already had. Wow, that was a fruity. I know. I went full Carl Anthony Towns there. No, for sure.
Well, I didn't hear it the first time. I definitely heard it the second time though.
You play you don't
He
read
definitely
comments,
deserves
bro.
an
You
All-Star.
play favorites. No, I don't respond to comments that I don't like. I respond to the comments that I like. What do you think? What do you think we do?
Chris, I don't think they're talking to you. I don't think they're talking to you.
Oh.
You're good.
Dude, I was like, what do you mean? First of all, I read every comment written about me,
We're
which is
good,
not a
bro.
good
We're
idea.
good.
Guys, if you ever start a YouTube channel and do what Dariel does, don't read all the comments.
No,
They're
just don't read the comments.
They're
Just
so
post-
mean.
They
dude.
are a nightmare, bro.
Post
They're
what
so
you
mean.
post. Post what you post, and then just let it ride. Like,
Dude, I feel, well, you can't ignore it because the people that take time, the people who take the time to comment good comments.
yeah, but you're also putting yourself in deep water by going through the comments,
That's
bro.
the risk I gotta take. Someone's got to do it.
I feel you.
Beer Digest Garden. Charlie Nix back with the memes. Charlie, you've been here for a lot, Charlie. Charlie was here. He's been here
Facts.
since the dawn of Happy Hour. He was there for on Wednesday, the first ever Chris's Board. Like, he's here for the live stream segments. I need a better name for it than Chris's Board.
Yeah,
That sounds really
let's change his
ass.
name to Dariel's board.
And it's just me.
What are you talking about?
So I did a live stream on Wednesday, which is basically just a new thing I'm doing where it's when I'm bored, I just go live and just talk about stuff. Like, I'm just randomly like, oh, I guess I'll make a live stream right now. It's 6 p.m. Got nothing better to do. Might as well.
What was crazy is I was waiting for a text back on something, and I pulled up my YouTube, and I saw you like were live after you did it. I'm like, oh, so I guess he could have responded to my text.
I'm not responding to text when I'm going live. If you comment down below
No,
with the text, I'll respond.
Yeah, you're great. Comment down below the text. It's crazy, bro. You're not about to Hollywood me, bro. You have 11K.
I'm about a completely
You're
big
not
time
him,
you,
bro.
Matt. Hey, Matt.
You're not him, dude.
I don't know why I'm going to say I when Dariel and I run the channel, but hey, Matt.
Nah, it's because
I'll see your channel with 10,000 subscribers. I don't talk to you.
No.
Ew.
Yeah, why do you talk to me, Chris? Why do you talk to me with only 2.6K now, I think?
Yeah.
I'm such a loser.
Who's the NBA? You are. You should be ashamed of yourself. Who's the NBA's biggest crash out? That's a good question, actually. Who is their biggest crash out? Question for you guys. Who deserves MVP so far? Jokic.
SGA. What does that person mean by crash out?
Like, who's
Like,
just, like, completely gone from,
who
like...
throws the most tantrums?
I thought it was, like, who started... Yeah, like, yes, that's what crashing out is, but I thought it was more than anything, like, kind of a,
Like who
No,
complains the most? Like
George Pickens is a D1 crash out, Chris.
No,
He's the NFL's biggest crash out.
If that's what he means, then that's a good question. Well, this year it's Jimmy Butler, but I was thinking flame out, not crash out.
No, yeah, that definitely you would. Okay.
like
Crash
who's made it
out,
worse for
I would say
themselves?
it's
Like
probably like people who just start literally throwing tantrums.
Yeah.
but like to the refs or just in general?
In
Like, the
general,
organization?
Chris, you almost
It's probably Jimmy
defined
Butler.
it
Yeah.
with its own word. You're like, oh yeah, the biggest crash out is like someone who crashes out the most.
I mean, yeah, this season it's probably Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's he's
gotta
not
be.
making it. He's not making it easy for himself at all, bro.
I haven't heard of one other player from of requests to trade this friggin' year.
I mean, you don't think
Please
it's
trade
you don't think it's Zion who's late for the team playing like 2 games after he gets back?
I just think Zion's lazy. I think he just doesn't really
He certainly
care.
is. Josh Hart is a huge crash out from Charlie Knicks.
Yo, Jam, bro, Josh Hart be complaining a little bit too much. I've been mentioning that in my videos. He just complains too much to the refs, bro. I don't like that. Yo,
Yeah,
are
he
you
does
guys
complain a lot recently.
are you guys hitting the trade button on Zion Williamson right now? Yes or no? Just yes or no. I'm saying yes.
If I were the Pelicans, I'd
Knicks?
keep him around. You got him for so many
Okay.
more years.
What side am I on?
You're David Griffith for the New Orleans Pelicans.
No,
Are you
he's
trading
mine. Mine. You're not touching him. Hang up
Why?
the phone.
You-
Because
you-
I have to. It's too hard to find the guy who can lead your team to a championship. It's too hard to find. When I have Zion with still a 12% chance of being that, I'll take my chances.
Zion is not a number one. There's no chance in hell he's
Dude,
a
he
number
averages
one.
25.5 points when he plays. He's sick.
And when
Charlie's
does he
right,
play?
though. He does one out.
No, I know. No, he never wanted in.
Yeah.
From
Correct.
lottery night. He never wanted
As the
in.
Mark Spears tweet went, Zion Williamson was quickly whisked out of the room. Apparently, he's
Dude.
very upset that he didn't end up in New York.
That was A+ journalism, by the way.
Yeah.
Whisked. Perfect verb. Perfect verb. to
Because it was
describe
him
that
and his
situation.
entire entourage. They just got him out of there before he literally had a tantrum just right there that he was going.
He
into
would
the
have
room.
could have had his first crash out.
His
I'm
first
just saying,
his
dude,
conniption.
he's ripped right now. He's lost all the weight.
Oh, yeah, he looks good.
It looks like he's done everything he can. And I'm just saying, if we actually get him to perform on the court, that's great in itself. But if we see him perform on the court, and I know his team is absolutely just dog doo-doo. They're literally, what are they, last in the Western Conference? No, second to last.
Let's pretend they're last.
Yeah, they're 12-36, which is just, yeah, they have whatever. So they're basically last. If he plays on the court, that's a win in of itself. But if he plays on the court and they're literally still 14th or 15th seed, what does that kind of tell you about Zion and the player he is, bro? And it's not like they don't have talent. They got some talent, bro. DeJounte Murray, McCollum is back from injury. Brandon Ingram is still injured, so okay, I'll give you that. Jose Alvarado is back from injury. They have talent on that team, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I would trade.
I gotta
This
see.
is
I
just
gotta
a
see how it
Murphy's
actually
Law of the
happens.
season. It's just
I
one of
trade
those
him,
things
bro.
that's going down where it's just an unfortunate it's just an unfortunate year to be the Pelicans, honestly.
I think I'd trade him. Chris, did you hit the precious Achiuwa button for no reason?
Yes, he definitely did.
Because he clears, obviously. All right, we're going to end this in 3 minutes because that's when the Zoom ends and we're not starting
He
another
clears a
one.
YMCA player. That's who he clears.
Young man. There's a place you can go. I said, Matthew.
Dude, I
Something
mean,
wrong
I
with
wish it
Zion's
could have been
legs.
different for Zion. But Chris, you're right. When you said, did you say you didn't think he was a hard worker? You thought he was lazy or something like
Yeah,
that?
I just think he doesn't really care. He's got the money. He's got everything. Remember, he wasn't playing high-level basketball until Duke. He was playing against a bunch of people who.
Okay. I mean, whatever. He's a high schooler. Let him live.
No, exactly. But if you're a high schooler,
No, actually, wait. Let's not pretend like that's the issue. It's not his level of play that's the problem.
No, but I'm even saying from back then, I don't know if Zion Williamson likes basketball. There's plenty of guys who don't like basketball and are in the NBA.
No, that's
Yeah.
facts.
So it's
Low-key,
like
it's
I
kind of a
don't think
problem.
he's one of those guys who loves basketball. I think Mikal Bridges loves basketball. You don't love basketball and happen to never miss a game. Especially Draymond Green pointed out a really good way that you could identify it. It's not foolproof, but if you do pay attention to it, the guys who are shooting those half-court shots at the buzzer, those are the guys who like basketball and who really are
Oh
serious
yeah, dude.
defenders.
Like, dude, the people who don't shoot, like, come on now, shoot the shot. You're not gonna hurt your percentage that bad. Would Zion's career be different if he was drafted by the Knicks? I really hope
Probably.
so, because it's no secret that he definitely wanted to be a Knick. Whether he would have had the work ethic, we will never know.
That's the question. Like, what if he gets traded to another organization, like any team besides the Pelicans, the Wizards, the Hornets?
The Knicks were also a dumpster fire when he was drafted. They were bad. They weren't ran by
So
Leon
what? So what? He's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, but the Knicks were not a good organization in general, that they would have probably stayed on longer because they had the number 1 overall pick. And Zion just wouldn't have had Leon Rose as the GM, which I think Leon is the guy who changed things with the Knicks. However, we're going to wrap this thing up right now because the Zoom is about to end. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. As always, we'll be back next Friday. I'll go live at some point this week on another Chris's board. Till then, we'll catch you on the flippity-floppity flip.